nice to meet you.
All right, we're going to.
Bennett's here with us, guys. Oh, that one, right? Yeah.
We'll throw that one right in the middle. All right, so we're resetting here a little bit. We got Randy Bennett coming on in. Yeah, you can. Yeah, we'll trade this one. Randy, how's it going?
It's great. How you doing? It's great media day. Yeah.
It's fun to actually see everybody in one place. And like, we'll be all the way back here in Vegas in March. But for coming to this, you guys have had such great success over the last few years. 3 straight years, 5 seed, back-to-back WCC regular season championships, tournament champions a year ago. Bring back a great group of guys that are going to be able to kind of like continue that role going into this year. What has been with a lot of the changes that happened in the off season? What has been kind of like the message going into this year with a lot more new guys, because you had to actually use the portal a lot more than you had in the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's not really our deal. We've taken transfers over the years, kind of when we need one.
Yeah.
And that's really what we did. You got to be careful. We have 6 new ones coming in. We should have probably been 4. And we took 1 late. But 4 of them are freshmen, 2 of them are transfers. So and I had to make a decision. Like, do I want to go get a transfer guard? And our whole deal when we recruit guys is, listen, you may not play right away, but if you do what you're supposed to be doing, we think you're talented enough, we think we're pretty good at evaluating, you'll be a player. Mm-hmm. You just got to hang in there. And we don't want, if that's not what you're looking for, don't come here. Like, go somewhere else, because that's kind of what we're doing. We've had success, and I think we've proved you can do it. Now, last year, when Aiden left, I had to make a decision. I'm going to go get a transfer that spot or just roll with the young guys. I thought our young guys would be good enough, and I thought that was the right thing to do with them. And so they're going to have to do it at the guards. Like Jordan Ross going to have to do it at the guard, which he'll be fine because he's been in our program, and that's what he wanted too. And then we have Mikey Lewis and Liam Campbell coming in as other guards. And then we had some other guards that were sitting on last year besides Jordan that we just thought we could get it done. So that's how we rolled. We needed help at the 4. And we took Paulus and we took Ashton as a 3-4. And so we kind of had to do that, which just like when we took Joe Rayhan as a transfer, we needed a point guard coming, and we took him. So it really hasn't changed that much. Just you got to be nimble, because it could happen to anybody, and it can just happen to anybody now. But we're still pretty confident we can do it the way we've always done it, and we'll see. Time will tell.
Certainly helps to have so many returners who've been in college basketball as long as guys like Saxon and Goose and those guys have been here. And you know, we talked to them already, and they're guys who know that they have this leadership role and know that they have this opportunity to really help some of those 6 players who are new to this system and kind of come in and learn the ways and learn kind of how to play in this system and be prepared to compete for another WCC title. And it feels like they really understand that role and are prepared for that role. How do you help kind of make sure that you have these veteran guys who are able to take on those roles? Because it just seems more than ever so vital in college basketball to have some older guys who are ready to do that.
Yeah, that's the reason I have confidence in this team. And we'll do. I mean, those 3 guys are pretty special to us, not just this team. Over the years, these guys are pretty special. They stuck it out, stayed through. Season's over. Obviously, it ends on an L, and there's a little disappointment there. But man, they turned the page in a second. They knew what they wanted to do the following year, and that was come back and do it again and do it better. So when you have that, we return those 3. Those guys are players. They played for us. They played on a top 5 seed. Man, 3 years. They're a part of the team, and they were real players last 2 years. So when you have, there's nothing better than that. Like, that's experience going through one of those seasons, and to do that, you got to be ready every night. You got to be ready every day. You have to stay healthy. You have to block out distractions, positive or negative.
Mm-hmm.
They know all that stuff. And so you don't have to teach them. They know it. They got to show the others. They're basically extensions of the coach. All these things are kind of like cliches, but it's real. And when you have it, if you had to go get a transfer as a 5-man, one, you'd have to break the bank. And two, there's no way a transfer is going to come in and be better than the guy you've had for 4 years. And so, anyhow, they are number one. Like, they set the table, and then the other guys that return, they experience it, whether they're redshirt, hurt, played a little. Like Harry Wessel played a lot. He's good.
Yeah.
And having him back with those three, all right, you're pretty old now. And then you throw in Jordan Ross. He was with you. He knew what it was. Played against Gonzaga and Santa Clara and those guys in the tournament and cut the nets down. Like, it's just hard to put a value on what that means to your team. But like I said, it's experience. It's kind of priceless. So that's 100% why I feel good. Now, we have some other guys coming in, 6 new guys, and other guys developing, moving up. But I feel like we have a lot in place. It's never easy. Never easy. I know it'll be tough, but we got the pieces and the experience and the leadership to be good.
I mean, you've talked about this in years past. Like, I mean, think about the trio of like Logan Johnson, Alex Dukas, and Kyle Bowen. You talk very similarly about those three and what they meant to the program. There's something I was thinking about as I was looking through like just the coaching staff, and obviously, like Mickey's on the roster, Joe Rahan on the coaching staff. The addition of EJ Rowland coming back, and and just thinking about just again, I was a freshman his senior year. I got to see the first tournament run. It's like talking about like the value of. I mean, EJ's been around the program. He's always kind of stayed in touch. But what's it been like having him back on the bench and being a reconnected part of the program?
Yeah, it's first of all, it's a sense of pride. Like, you're just proud of your guys that they want to come back, and they're good enough to come back and help. And he's been playing so long. He's never really coached. So he is he's a guy that's not only been involved or stayed involved, he's stayed involved at a high level. Like, anything we've done, alumni game in the summer or whatever, he's been there. Stay in touch with the former players. He's one of the guys who leads that without us asking. He just takes a lot of pride in what he did, his teams did at St. Mary's, and these other teams. He wants to know our guys. He comes back, He does all that stuff. Now he's flipping the page, and it's a total new deal. Like, coaching and playing are two different deals. So he's going to have to. He knows this is nothing that we haven't talked about. He's just got to take stuff in for a while. He'll give us value right away as a coach. One, because of his presence. Like, people respect him. You talk to him, he carries himself in a manner that you're going to respect that guy. And he's such a good player. He can pull those guards over and say, "Hey, why don't you think about this?" And they're going to listen. And I'm giving him the green light on that. We have Mickey and Joe as well that were point guards for us, but EJ, it's even more fresh to EJ. He finished in June playing Pro A France. So I'm pumped to have him. I'm pumped to have all those guys, and I think that's what gives us. That's our other secret weapons. Those assistants are really good.
How much does that actually impact the recruiting? Because the thing about just like you have St. Mary's on the coaching staff, that like these are guys who can speak directly to their playing experience of what it was like in this program as well.
It helps for sure. It's something we don't really talk about, They probably do, but I don't tell it to recruits. They got to figure that out. Like 4 of our 5 assistants played for us, and that's cool. Like we all think that's cool. Like we're pretty tight, our players and our coaches, and it helps that I've been there the whole time. But those guys, it's not just me. It's those guys are close with each other. The St. Mary's family, as far as the basketball program, it's what it should be. And so anyhow, those guys keep it that way, make it that way. And so it's, like I said, it's just pretty special for me to have those guys.
2 new teams joining the WCC this year: Oregon State, Washington State. Obviously, Washington State program that made the tournament last year. A very new roster, new coach, but still a program that's had some success. Oregon State, was in the Final Four a few years back. What does it mean for this conference to have these 2 teams in the league, and for you and your program to get a chance to compete against them this upcoming season?
Yeah, it's they'll be good. They'll be good. They're playing that pack. They have good teams in the pack. They have they have money because they're from the football school, so they're the last 2 teams for the pack. So they'll have, like, you need money. You need money for NIL. You need money for resources, the whole deal. So they'll have that, and I don't know if everybody knows that, but that's an advantage. And they've played good teams, so it's going to help our league for these 2 years. I think it gives our league some depth, and in 2 years, there's 3 of them that are leaving, and we'll still have 10 good ones after that. But these guys, Washington State had a great year last year. They're really good, and then Oregon State, their final 8 in the country just 4 years ago, something like that.
Yeah,
So
not too long ago.
yeah, they have, both those teams have some of that. Hey, they've gone through that experience. They know what it feels like to get to the tournament. Not that many teams can say that.
Wanted to ask quickly about non-conference scheduling, something that I've always been wanted to kind of learn more about from mid-major coaching perspective, because I think it's difficult to, we saw this with Gonzaga about a decade ago, where they really struggled to schedule a lot of Power 4, Power 5 teams, and I've really enjoyed the non-conference schedule that your squad has put together the last few years. A lot of really competitive teams and programs that you guys have been able to put to schedule. How difficult is it to get some of those marquee games, especially against power teams, or even against some of the better non-power programs, like some of those Mountain West schools and other programs that you guys have played the last few years?
Well, obviously, we've been able to. Some of it's resources. You got to have some money for scheduling to get them. You can go on the road and play them, but there's nobody good doing that.
Yeah,
like go get bought, probably get beat, and that's not a good formula for being good and getting to the tournament. So we try, and it's pretty simple to me. Try and schedule the best teams you can, either neutral or home. Try and get the best ones. So don't try and get the 300s. Like, some people still do that. They hunt those guys. I don't want those guys because they drop your net. So we try and, like, we got Akron on there, and Towson State's our opener there. Towson's pretty good. Akron's really good. In others, we got Utah State. So some of our homes are that, and then any neutral we're playing, we want that to be a quad 1.
Yes. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Randy.
Zach, thanks, man.
Yep.
Great seeing you.
You too. Thanks.